Welcome to the program and many thanks for making time with us. It is the 13th day of August 2013. My name is Bonny Tunya, and ahead in this bulletin we'll give you an update of yesterday's shooting saga in Nairobi, where a bride-to-be was shot dead. Today the brother-in-law succumbs to his injuries. This and more coming up in this bulletin. Welcome to the program. We begin on a sad note where the man who sustained injuries from yesterday's shooting incident in a jewelry shop in Nairobi's central business district has died. According to the deceased relatives, Ayub Nyaoke died at 12:30 this afternoon while undergoing treatment at the Kenyatta National Hospital. Now, Ayub was in the company of his brother and the bride-to-be Beatrice Nyaoke as they purchased wedding rings ahead of the Saturday wedding. However, their shopping turned tragic when three gunmen confronted them in a shop along Kaunda Street and ordered them to lie down before shooting the bride together with Ayub. The bride died on the spot while Ayub was rushed to Kenyatta National Hospital, where he was rushed to theatre with a bullet lodged in his head. Ayub was a police officer based in Narok. Right now, of course, investigations into that particular matter are still underway, and we will be bringing you more of those details as they unfold. But we do know that the brother of Beatrice Nyaoke, the bride-to-be who was shot dead yesterday, has also succumbed to his injuries while in hospital at the Kenyatta National Hospital. Right, we'll move on to other news now, and the government has formed a strategic disaster management authority to deal with all disasters that Kenya may face in the future. Secretary to the Cabinet Francis Kimemia took to his Twitter page to announce a special unit to handle national disasters. It will be benchmarked with the best in the world. Kimemia further revealed that the permanent unit will be headed by Joseph Ole Tito. The team will be charged with dealing with disasters as well as mapping out potential disasters. This special unit that will also report on preventive measures for the country to undertake will be fully equipped with the modern equipment and commanders. Joseph Ole Tito is the immediate former Nyanza police boss. Right, and of course we are sticking to matters of governors. Governors have been in the news lately for all the wrong reasons, and today the battle continues. Governors have opened a new battlefront with the national government just a day after the gazettement of a transfer of functions to the counties. The governors are demanding for the control of grain stores, the mandate to maintain roads in their counties, the power to decide which areas get electricity, as well as the management of forest and water towers. Now, the chairman of the Council of Governors, Isaac Ruto, says governors will appeal to the Senate over the functions. We're now joined by way of phone by senior reporter Rita Tinina, who is at Go House, the venue of that particular press briefing. And Rita, what do we know so far coming from this particular complaint from the governors?
Well, the governors are saying the government is reluctant to give them control of various functions. The chairman of the Governors Council, Isaac Ruto, saying that most of the time they have been meeting with the government and agreeing to certain things, but the government has been going against those agreements. And now they are demanding for several things, just as you mentioned, after the gazettement of the transfer of functions to the counties. They want the control of the grain stores. They say they do not want the strategic grain reserves, but they want the grain stores that were or are under the control of the National Cereals and Produce Board. They also want to be able to maintain roads in the counties. They say they have budgeted for the maintenance of roads, and according to them, they say there are only two types of roads classified in the country, and that is the trunk roads and county roads. And so they want to be able to maintain those roads in the counties. They say they have no problem with the contracts that are on right now. They will wait for those contracts to be executed, but moving forward, they want to be able to maintain roads in the counties. They are also talking about electrification and saying that the functions that have been gazetted do not give governors even the power to decide, for instance, what school or what hospital gets electricity. and that they say should be a function of the county government. They say they are on the ground and they know better which areas should get electrification. On the matter of roads, as I have mentioned earlier, they're saying all roads that were previously under the care of Kura and Kera now should be under the county government. There's also the issue of water towers and forests. They say the Kenya Forest Service has no business taking care of the forests and water towers. They want to take control of that as well. There are also issues that they say they are okay with. They say in terms of health, what has been gazetted, they are fine with that. The issue of payroll, they say they had agreed with the government that in the next 6 months, county governments should put in place measures to ensure that they can take control of the payroll, and they say they are fine with that. So those complaints coming from the governors, remember yesterday, the governors met at the Intergovernmental Budget and Economic Council, and they came under attack from the control of budget for the fact that the control of budget Agnes Odiambo saying that they have many counties have surplus budgets, others have deficits, others are including in their budget items that should not be there. The governors in their defense yesterday saying that they've not done this before and they need guidance. So 3 committees were formed, but today at today's press conference that is just concluding at this moment, Isaac Ruto, the chairman of the Governor's Council, did not make any reference to yesterday. This was just about the transfer of functions. And of course now they are saying they are only looking to the Senate. The Senate can have the final word. They say each governor in their county will appeal to the senators to have the government agree to transfer the other functions that they want. Bonnie.
All right, Rita, quite plateful from the governors there, and of course we'll be getting more analysis about exactly what they're demanding coming just actually a day after they had another meeting with the budget control team in regards to the budgeting of the county governments. As promised, KTN will bring you a proper analysis of that particular battle between governors and the central government. Now, away from that, cases of motorbike theft have been on the increase since the border business became popular with many youth. However, it was the end of the proverbial 40 days for some suspects who had alleged to have been stealing motorbikes and dismantling them and then reselling the spare parts. In Ruringu Estate in Nyeri, a man who had gone to buy spare parts for his motorbike was shocked when he discovered the part he was trying to purchase actually belonged to him. He then raised the alarm and residents flocked to the scene and alerted police officers from the Nyeri police station. The suspects were forced to spill the beans and tell the police who else they allegedly cooperate with in the theft of motorcycles, famously referred to as bodas.
Nafanyia kazi huko Shaka. Sasa pikipiki yangu iliibiwa, tukaenda tukaripoti pale Kigajo police station. Kutoka hapo tukaanzia uchunguzi. Alafu tukasikia kuko na pikipiki inauzwa hapa Kingongo. Sasa tukakuja kuona kama ni yangu au ni gani. Lakini tukisaida tulienda tukaonyesha pikipiki tukaona ni yangu. Nimebadilishwa mguu ya mbele na namba plate wakang'oa. Lakini hizo zingine tumepata.
Cabinet Secretary for Education, Professor Jacob Kaimenyi, has dismissed criticism against the ongoing changes within the education system as baseless and born out of fear of change. Speaking while launching a report dubbed Character and Creativity Initiative Evaluation, Kaimenyi said that there are challenges always experienced at any level of implementation of a new program. The launch brought together Manu Chandare of the Global Peace Foundation, Professor Lea Marangu, Chairperson of Character and Creativity Council, and other notable academicians and stakeholders within the education sectors. The Character and Creativity Evaluation and Data Analysis will be carried out by the Kenya Institute of Public Policy and Analysis, and the findings of the study are value addition towards improving quality of education in the academic institutions. The intention is to assist learning institutions in creating a transformative formative culture of ethics and excellence that will help improve teachers' practice, such as providing support and high management.
We have one very big program we call the Citizen Attitude Change Program. And among the citizens, we have singled out the youth, noting that the youth are 75% of the population.
Because character is something which will live with you until you die. Integrity and intelligence will wash off. And only way you can do is the best way is to have a clear understanding about integrity.
You claim to be patriotic. When you go out there shouting the loudest that our education system has collapsed, some of us don't carelessly like that. It is possible to have challenges. There is no system which doesn't have challenges, don't you think so? None. Doesn't matter where you come from.
Now let's talk about more challenges in education, and the introduction of the paralegal programs in public university was not a good idea. And now these are the remarks of Attorney General Professor Githu Muigai, who stated that poor execution of the program has led to the infiltration of unqualified practitioners in the Kenyan legal system. He also stressed the need for law lecturers to specialize in particular fields of law in order to give quality education in those fields. The AG was speaking at the launch of the Riara Law School Strategy Plan.
Many universities thought of the parallel program as a money-making program for the rest of the university. There was very little by way of input, by way of resources, by way of staff development, and so on and so forth. The universities themselves lacked the ability to monitor these programs. We had serious problems about it. We all know about it. We had essays written for students by other students. We had professional students who wrote theses for other students, and all manner of problems that within the closed doors of this room we ought to acknowledge and to condemn and to dedicate ourselves to reforming.
Right, from matters of education, we take our county road trip and we stop at Nyeri, where two rival groups of the Nyeri Kamukunji market clashed as one group accused the other of invasion. Now, the group that had been squabbling for some time now marched to the county commissioner's office and camped on opposite sides of the road, each seeking the attention of the county commissioner. Karunderi reports.
Two rival groups of hawkers who operate within the newly commissioned Nyeri Kamukunji Hawkers Market camped on opposite sides of the road outside the Nyeri County Commissioner's office, where each group sought to have its views heard by the County Commissioner Michael Mwangi. Tension was high as the road that leads to Kamakwa was temporarily rendered impassable. Business at the market also came to a standstill when the two rival groups engaged each other in verbal and physical confrontation earlier on before the protest to the commissioner's office. The groups tore at each other, with one group accusing the other of wanting to evict them from the market.
Hatuwezi toshea. Zile spaces zimebaki ni kidogo. And then how unaweza kunitoa nje alafu uende unipeleke nje? What are you doing?
Hata pesa tunalipa zaidi yao. Tunalipa more than 6,000. Now wanalipa 2,000 kwa mwaka.
Josephat Maina, the chairman of the Kamukunji Hawkers, said the march to the office by his group was to compel the authorities to arrest the invaders who allegedly attacked members of his group.
Tuna nafasi na tuko tayari kufanya kazi na wale. Sasa shida imekuwa, mbona tushakubali waje, mbona hawaletwi?
The rival group that identified itself as the Motaro group, however, claimed that Miners group wanted to evict them from their spots.
Hakuna wakati utatetewa na adui yako. Hakuna wakati kondoo atapata haki mbele ya fisi.
Vita ni ya biashara.
Lazima vile tuende na ninyi. Kama mtu tutakaa pamoja, si utatafuta nafasi timu yenu na hii timu nyingine. Hakuna vita.
Wakati wanatoa maoni yao, hata nyinyi wakati mnatoa yenu, nitasihi kila pande iwache kuingilia, ndio tutafute njia ya pamoja.
Administration police officers were deployed to restore calm, with authorities saying that 3 police officers would be deployed to the market every day until a solution was arrived at. Well, a sense of normalcy has resumed here at the Nyeri Kamukunji market, and talking to the traders from the 2 rival groups, it seems that some mistrust still exists, and they hope that an amicable solution shall be found. Carol Derry for KTN in Nyeri town.
Next we stop in Samburu, where a 26-year-old man in Samburu is still missing after he drowned in the river Sieya, Samburu. Repindi Lekususu is said to have gone for a bath with some of his friends when he drowned in the heavy river current as he tried to cross the river. Samburu Central OCPD Maurice Asila said rescue efforts by the locals have failed. The OCPD has urged the locals to be careful when crossing the dangerous river. He has called on the Kenyan Navy to assist.
The place is very dangerous. We are trying our level best to make sure that we retrieve the body. I would like to appeal to people from this area to avoid this place. It appears the place looks nice, yes, but it is very dangerous. The water moves here very fast, and I would like to call upon the chief and assistant chief of this area, to inform the locals around to avoid this area. It is very, very dangerous. And the Morans, we know how they are. They don't fear anything. So they should avoid this place.
Kwa sababu sisi tumeshindwa kutoa. Sasa tunaomba serikali msaidishe atolee sisi tuone hata.
Final stop is in Nakuru, where villagers of Ndege in Lanet, Nakuru County took the law into their hands when they evicted the office of their chief for allegedly colluding with local brewers to manufacture illegal brews. The villagers closed the chief's office and vowed not to allow him to operate as their chief. The residents held demonstrations to protest against alleged laxity by the chief James Karanja in curbing illicit brew. The angry residents marched to the chief's office and closed it before storming into the village drinking dens that manufacture illicit brews. According to the villagers, the area chief has been soliciting bribes and assaulting them, as well as failing to crack down on illicit brew manufacturing.
Pombe hamalizagi. This is the first time changa kumwago kwa Ndege tangu Kenyatta alitangaza, na tumekataa, haitarudi. Hata sasa tuna mgonjwa mwenye anakufa kwa hii boma juu ya changa, pia tunataka tumchukue tumpeleke hospitali na changa wamalize kutoka leo.
Matifu aondolewe kwa sababu alinichapa kwa sababu ya kutonunulia mtoto desk ili aende standard 1. Mimi nimeamua aondolewe kabisa. Tuletewe chifu mwingine.
Hata mfupa ifanye kazi. Tunamkia tu tei. Wase, hivi tu tafadhali tuifunge. Afadhali tuifunge.
Right, for that story from Nakuru and many more from the other 47 counties, the website to look out for is www.standardmedia.co.ke. I need to catch my breath, so let's take this after this commercial break.
Revamped look of the counties. Take a look at how governors are transforming Kenya one step at a time. And which governor wants his town to be as spotless as Kigali? Find out what next for Mwao after losing to both father and son. What's more, unemployed graduates to earn 15,000 Kenya shillings in new law. And in your county life feature, elevated snake deemed custodian of local resources and possessor of powers to spell doom. And even better, Gor Mahir's super fan who eats, sleeps and drinks soccer. Get your copy of the counties. Coming closer.
Where are you on the property ladder? Join me this Sunday as we visit Kajiado County and speak to Urbanis Africa on real estate opportunities available for you. There is something for everyone.
It's a war of global dimensions. With local victims and combatants from across the region.
Sana kama baruti kama zinatoa tete za moto na harufu ya moshi na moshi.
The war on terror is one with many secrets.
Marafiki wa Hassan mmoja wao nikiwaambia siku hizi simuonagi mtaani.
And the story begins right here in Mogadishu, Somalia. Taking us across the region to Kenya and Uganda.
Mbona ule gaidi asipelekwe ndani akashtakiwa achukuliwa moja kwa moja uwa.
Join me, John Allen Namu, Ahmed Ali, for the return of the inside story and Jicho Pevu this month only on KTN.
Welcome back to the program. What's happening in business? Operations at Mumia's Sugar Company were temporarily paralyzed when unionizable employees demanded the suspension of contracts of non-essential services. The workers demanded that contracts which included road repairs, mowing of grass, flower bed pruning, among other petty contracts, be suspended as they were adversely impacting negatively on the returns of the company. According to the union, MSC spends up to 280 million shillings monthly on payments of contractors, something they say impacts adversely on farmers' returns. However, a meeting held between the company and the Kenya Union of Sugar Plantation and Allied Workers resolved to have non-essential contracts suspended until a meeting to decide the details of what to be suspended is held later on this week. On this part, the management agreed to hold the meeting next Thursday to thrash out the thorny issue of contracting jobs, which almost paralyzed work at the factory. Mumia's Managing Director Peter Kebati is expected to appear before the Parliamentary Committee on Agriculture to answer accusations of mismanagement leveled against him by the company.
So that it can realize what it is supposed to realize at the end of the day. We are fed up with these issues, and we believe that our outcome of Thursday's meeting will give clear direction on which contracts will be suspended and which ones will remain suspended, and notices given to the owners so that they don't have to carry out the contracts in this company.
Right, we shift gears as we wind up this show to sports and head to Moscow, where the 2010 World Junior 5,000 silver medalist John Kipkoech will not be in the line of the 5,000 final after being elbowed out of the 5,000-meter heat that was won by Ethiopia's Hugos Gebrehiwet. Hugos won that heat in 13 minutes, that is about 23 minutes and 22 seconds. Kipkoech finished at a distant 10th. However, Kenya still has chances for medals after Thomas Langosiwa, Edwin Soy and Isaiah Kiplagat-Koech qualified for the final.
First heat of the men's 5,000 metres then.
Kenya had a strong presence in the first heat with 2010 junior silver medalist John Kipkoech, Olympic bronze medalist Thomas Langosiwa, all lining up against Kenyan-born American Bernard Lagat and Ethiopia's Hugos Gebrehiwet.
Deciding that that's the centre of the world as far as 5,000 and 10,000 metre running, and he wants to be part of it. So that's a big decision. So you can imagine if a man does that.
The race started with the usual sizing up by the athletes. Anne Gabias from Germany returned a split time of 2 minutes 40.93 seconds after a kilometre.
Kipkoech is on the inside. That lovely long flowing stride. And again, just a few...
At some point, Thomas Langosiwa and John Kipkoech looked to dash ahead, but with so many other rounds to cover, they slowed down. Ethiopia's duo of Hugos Gebrehiwet and Ianu Alamire hung in for Ethiopia. As the race progressed, America's Bernard Lagat, the two Kenyans and Ethiopians looked clear favourites. However, the junior 2010 world silver medalist lost ground with a lap to go.
Now the bell in the first heat of the men's 5,000 metres. It's been tightly bunched. We've had fallers. They're running wide on the outside, and they're all trying to queue up. And
he knows he's in the perfect position in 5th place.
As he dashed to join the leading pack, it was a bit late as he finished 10th. Gebrehiwet won in a time of 13 minutes 23.22 seconds.
Lagat is safe, and these three coast.
With Ianu Alamire finishing second in the heat. Thomas Nagosiwa finished 5th in a time of 13 minutes 23.94 seconds.
Second heat of the men's 5,000 metres. First 5 to go through as of right. We have Isaiah Koech, the 19-year-old Kenyan champion, who...
In the second heat, Mukhtar Edris won in a time of 13 minutes 20.82 seconds. The two Kenyans in the heat ran a tactical race, taking in the leading pack for the better part of the race, with Isaac Plagat venturing ahead for some few seconds as the leading role exchanged hands between the Kenyans and Britain 5,000 and 10,000 Olympic winner Mo Farah.
There is now a gap. Dejene Regassa, the former Ethiopian representing Bahrain, was hanging on to the lead 5, but the...
Edwin Soy was runners-up in the second heat in a time of 13 minutes 21.44 seconds, with Isaac Plagat finishing third in a time of 13 minutes 22.19 seconds. Despite Kenya's John Kipkoech missing out in the finals, the 5,000 meters is expected to be a tough challenge, with the 3 Ethiopians and 3 Kenyans battling it out with America's record holder Bernard Lagat and multiple winner Mo Farah in the finals.
And the 2 training partners from Oregon, Galen Rupp of the United States and Mo Farah, the Olympic champion, easing up way behind.
My time is up, but here we go. Did you know that buses don't need seatbelts because, in effect, an effect called compartmentalization, combined with riding higher than most cars, is actually one of the safest forms of traveling? My name is Bonny Tunya. Have yourselves a great afternoon.
Welcome to USRU, where diversity makes us better and you get a degree that is acceptable everywhere. Join us in congratulating the graduating class of 2013. They made the journey with USRU.
Did you know that you can make your download faster by Step 1. Use fiber optic download such as fiber. Step 2. Make sure you're not downloading 2 things at the same time, as this could slow down your internet connection to a halt. And Step 3. Try not to browse the internet while downloading files, as this uses up bandwidth.
Now that is fiber. Enjoy speeds of up to 100 megabits per second. Fiber, powered by Jamii Telco.
Tasty meals in association with Golden Fry.
Spaghetti carbonara with mushrooms. Ingredients: 2 tablespoons Golden Fry oil, 1 large onion sliced, 1 clove garlic crushed, 1 cup of ham sliced, 250 grams of button mushrooms sliced, half a cup of chicken stock, 300 ml cooking cream, 1 egg beaten, 250 grams of spaghetti cooked al dente, salt and pepper to taste. Directions: heat the Golden Fry oil in a deep frying pan. Add the ham and cook until brown cut, not crisp. Stir in the mushrooms and cook for 1 to 2 minutes. Blend in the chicken stock and cream and bring to a boil. Then reduce the heat. Simmer until it begins to thicken. Add the beaten egg, salt and pepper, stirring constantly, and let simmer for 20 seconds. Stir in the cooked spaghetti, sprinkle some grated cheddar cheese on top, and serve hot.
Golden Fry. Fries more, last longer.
The following program has been rated GE. It is therefore suitable for general family viewing.
happening in business? Operations at Mumia's Sugar Company were temporarily paralyzed when unionizable employees demanded the suspension of contracts of non-essential services. The workers demanded that contracts which included road repairs, mowing of grass, flower bed pruning, among other petty contracts, be suspended as they were adversely impacting negatively on the returns of the company. According to the union, MSC spends up to 280 million shillings monthly on payments of contractors, something that they say impacts adversely on farmers' returns. However, a meeting held between the company and the Kenya Union of Sugar Plantation and Allied Workers resolved to have non-essential contracts suspended until a meeting to decide the details of what to be suspended is held later on this week. On this part, the management agreed to hold the meeting next Thursday to thrash out the thorny issue of contracting jobs, which almost paralyzed work at the factory. Mumia's Managing Director Peter Kebati is expected to appear before the Parliamentary Committee on Agriculture to answer accusations of mismanagement leveled against him by the company.
So that it can realize what it is supposed to realize at the end of the day. We are fed up with these issues, and we believe that our outcome of Thursday's meeting will give clear direction on which contracts will be suspended and which ones will remain suspended, and notices given to the owners so that they don't have to carry out the contracts in this company.